Hello. So there is one special variety of passage in the SAT test, and this is called as a dual passage, where you get two different versions, or there are two different authors or speakers who have two contrasting opinions about a certain aspect of knowledge. So what would happen is, let's say there are two people, A and B. What can be and both of them are talking about something which is a common subject. Let us say, um, is lockdown the best solution to deal with the corona crisis? Is lockdown good or bad? Now A has some opinion, B has some opinion. What could be different combinations? So A and B agree with each other. So they are in full agreement. Whatever A says, B also says the same thing. But then if A has said something, probably B will give some examples. So in order to substantiate and further elaborate on those points, B gives certain examples. So this is one. B is the second situation can be that A and B do not agree with each other. This guy says uh, lockdown is good. This guy says lockdown is bad. So they are in total disagreement with each other. And so when this particular paragraph would say, okay, these are the advantages, of course, this would say, okay, well, this might be some advantages, but then the disadvantages are larger, probably in terms of loss of economic activity and many people losing their jobs and so on and so forth. So lockdown is not good. Or A and B may partially agree with each other. This guy says lockdown is good. This guy say, yeah, lockdown is good, but then maybe there can be something in between. Maybe we can actually start with only the red zones and probably the areas where the cases of corona are very high. Corona has become such a part of our life that I'm giving examples also from the same thing. But anyways, I think that makes a good case for our understanding. So basically, when you get dual passage, you can look at the type of relationship that exists between the two passages. All right, let's jump into a live example and we'll try to solve that here. Okay, so I'll just share the screen and we'll do this test together. This is from test 9, question numbers 31 to, let me just share the screen once again to make sure that it is all visible. Yeah, this is the test that we want to do and we'll do it together right now. Okay, so we'll jump straight to that test. I would request you to read this passage first, which is related to the drugs and um, antibiotics. I'll just give, so basically you can refer to the passage before we go on doing the questions. So once you are done with the passage, then we can resume and we can do the questions together. I'll just open it in a while. So you can go to that passage. This is from test 9 question, the last passage of test 9. I'll just show that to you. Here you go. Just to make sure that the proper screen is there, I'm kind of trying to reshare it. So I would like you to pause this video, go through this last set of questions from 43 to 52. This is SAT test 9. You can go to Google and simply write down SAT test 9 there. So this test paper would open. I would request you to read this passage first, and then we can go about doing the questions. Great, welcome back. So if you have gone through the passage, let me just give you a little idea of what it is all about. So let me ask you one question and you can answer this question first. You can pause the video before you move on. What kind of relationship is there between these two passages? Are they supporting each other or they are against each other? What is the relationship? How are these two passages related to each other? Well, of course, the answer is that there is a partial agreement. So, passage 1 and passage 2 discuss about the same thing. Passage 1 and passage 2 talk about the same concept related to the use of soil as a source of medicines. But passage 1 is all gung ho about this concept. It talks about the experiments done to explore whether soil can be a source of drugs, whereas passage 2 says that yes, of course, we can use soil as a laboratory or a factory to produce different types of antibacterial drugs. But these drugs are not effective. They are not the panacea for all the different types of diseases. They have their own limitations. And it also talks about certain stages of development of a drug wherein testing is involved, then how much dosage is supposed to be given, we check those things, plus a lot of money is spent in introducing the vaccines. So basically, passage 1 and passage 2 agree with each other with some caveats or with some limitations. The writer of the passage 2 has some doubts or reservations of his own. Let's go straight to the questions and try to see what is going on. We'll also classify the questions and we'll do them together. The first paragraph of passage 1 primarily serves to. So what is the purpose of the first paragraph? This is the question. Well, I can see some keywords here. The first paragraph, which means it is a paragraph based question. So I can go to that paragraph and see what is going on. When you read the first paragraph, they talk about a problem that pathogens are acquiring resistance faster than we can use new antibiotics. So basically, these pathogens develop faster than the human beings or the drugs for them, and this is causing a human health crisis. So it talks about a problem. Okay, so let me see. Present a claim, not really a claim, that is supported and developed over the course of passage. Introduces a controversy. It's not a controversy either. Identify a problem. Of course, it's a problem that research discussed in the passage may help to address. Yeah, so that's what it is. They do talk about the problem and the solution to it. Offer a theory that is challenged. So there is no theory which is challenged. Okay, so let's go to the next question now. The next question says, the author of passage 1 suggests that an advantage of the method this guy and the team used to grow this is. So basically, what are my keywords? The keywords are advantage and this person. So what is the advantage of somebody said by this gentleman? Something said by this gentleman. Let's try to see. So Lewis, I can see the word Lewis here. And let me see what are the advantages this guy is talking about. Some part of the team and they are developing something to tap the power of soil. Okay, fine. So I can see that they are working on soil. In animal tests, this particular pectin proved effective at killing wide range of diseases. So they have found some kind of antibacterial drug, it seems, even those that have developed immunity to other drugs. So, okay, fine. So it is a wide spectrum drug which is able to kill lots of different types of bacteria. Best efforts to create mutant bacteria with resistance to drug failed, meaning this thing could function effectively for these decades before pathogens naturally. Oh, so they have got some kind of some solution here that they have got a drug which seems to be quite effective against certain diseases, and scientists are hopeful that this particular drug would serve them for a lot of years before some new strain is developed. So these guys, it sounds like this guy has given a solution. Identify the requirement of soil bacteria. So there is no requirement identification here. So this one gone. Enables soil bacteria to take in more nutrients. They do not talk about any kind of nutrients directly affect the cell walls. Not really. Are we reading the right question? Yeah, we are. So these are not the options which are like the advantage. Allows researchers to make use of soil bacteria that they have previously been unable to exploit. Of course, yes, researchers to make use of soil bacteria, they are using the soil bacteria that they had previously been unable to exploit. Of course, this is the advantage of what his team said, just to see whether there is this soil bacteria thing mentioned there. Yeah, they do talk about from soil bacteria. So, of course, this is the answer to this particular question. Which choice provides the best evidence? So instead of looking at this, let me go here and see where do they talk about soil bacteria. So he's a part of the team that recently unveiled a promising antibiotic from a new way to tap from this. So part of team that recently unveiled a promising antibiotic born from a new way to tap this. So basically here it is where they are talking about the new antibiotic, and which says that the tests have been positive. So which line was that? Line 5 onwards, I would say. So requirements of soil, okay, once again, allows researchers to make use of soil bacteria that they had previously been unable to exploit, affects the cell wall, soil bacteria to take more nutrients, identifies requirements of soil bacteria to thrive, okay. Identifies the requirements for soil bacteria to thrive and replicates those features in artificial soil. So that do they talk about artificial? I'm a little confused, so I'm just trying to check it there. In animal tests, this particular drug is found to be even that have developed in little. The scientists' best effort to create mutant bacteria with resistance to drug failed. So this seems to be quite a good drug, is what I gather from this one. And the line numbers they have given here are from, let me see, 17 to 21 and 28 to 32. So 17 to 21, what do they say there? 15, 16, 17. But only about 1% of these organisms can be grown in lab. The rest, in staggering numbers, have remained uncultured and limited use to medical. Okay, here it is. So it is this paragraph that we have referred to for this answer, that only a part of, so basically natural microbial substances from soil bacteria and fungi have been at the root of most antibiotic drug development. So naturally, we are able to produce lots of antibiotics, and then there is a but, so there is a U-turn, that only 1% of these organisms can be grown in lab. The rest in the striking numbers have remained uncultured cultured and limited use of medical use until now. So this is something new here. Instead of trying to figure out the ideal conditions for this, they have started using the soil. So this looks like something pioneering done by this team. So I was referring to the wrong paragraph earlier, which was the cause of the trouble. So yeah, allows researchers to make use of soil bacteria that they had previously been unable to exploit is the right answer. And these are the lines which talk about it, as we have just seen. Okay, let's go to the next paragraph, next question now. So it is important. See, the way I got stuck with a question, it is very, sometimes the questions are not in a sequence. I mean, my assumption was that the second question should be answered in the second paragraph, but I had to read the third paragraph when I read the answer choices there, from which line it is taken. And it is always advisable to read the answer choices first before you go about selecting the question. I mean, read the evidence first. So in this kind of question where you've got a dual question, you are supposed to answer the uh, first question, and then you are also supposed to tell the source. So we call this as the dual question, as we can see it here. You first get the evidence for this. So look for the evidence first, and then you can go about doing the previous question based on the evidence that you gather. Okay, so let's go to the next question now. The author of passage 2 would most likely agree with which statement about the development of this thing? So passage 2 guy, this guy has said that, okay, this particular medicine is great. However, he has his reservations, which means primarily or principally he agrees with what was said in passage 1. Reveals that some antibiotics are effective against gram-negative bacteria. He is not revealing. Revealing means like telling for the first time. Shows that conventional methods can still yield news. He doesn't show about, and there is nothing like a conventional method being said. So B also gone. We are using the process of elimination here. Casts a doubt on practicality of, so he's not casting a doubt, that's like very strong statement against it. So it's, he's not casting a doubt. Confirms a long held belief about a potential, so he confirms a long held belief about the potential source of new antibiotics. So D is the answer to this one, wherein he talks about the chances of using the antibiotic. The word caveats. Now, this is important. Whenever there is a word-based question, go to the paragraph and try to understand the context. So if you look at this particular paragraph, he's talked about certain limitations or reservations of his own, that, okay, this particular drug is great, but then I have got some caveats. Now, caveats here means my own reservations, my unanswered questions, my confusions, my doubts, in other words, my misgivings. And he talks about those reservations in this paragraph. So from this context, the word misgivings fits this particular answer the most, this particular question the most, that he has got his own limitations or his doubts. And that's what misgivings means. So this is definitely a vocabulary question, and developing a strong vocabulary, as I discussed in the foundation videos, is of great advantage. In the last sentence of passage 2, the author uses the term 5 years and $500 million. So what is he trying to say? So basically, if you go to this last paragraph and read what is going on here, he's talking about the caveats. Now see, this is what it is. Usually the paragraphs follow this structure. There is a point, then there is an example, and then there is explanation. So point, or you can say a theme, which is usually the first sentence of a paragraph. Then there is an example and explanation. What I'm talking about is the structure of a paragraph. Most of the times you'll find that a science-based paragraph is structured like this. Every paragraph, the first line of the paragraph is the point or the theme, and the rest of the paragraph is examples and explanations. That is why understanding the first line is very, very important. Whenever there is a, let's say the question is related to the last line of a paragraph, what you should do is first refer to the first line of the paragraph so that you understand the context, and then you go to the last line to answer it. So if you look at this paragraph, he says, what are my caveats? So this is with reference to caveats, which means here he would identify his limitations and all. And there, with reference to caveats itself, he says that we have to make this much expenditure to come up with a new solution and to see the possibility of using the drug. So 5 years and 500 million, what is he doing here? Let's try to read each of these options, and we'll use the process of elimination by identifying the questions. Emphasize the scale and effort needed to make. Of course, yes, he's emphasizing the scale and effort that we have to. Scale means money that is spent and what kind of work is required to be done. Is he criticizing the level of funding? No, there is nothing specific about funding. Underscores the amount of time and money that has already been spent. See, already been spent is controversial. It's not something about a process that we have already spent this much. He says this much money is required. Compare the amount of money spent developing this thing with the amount spent developing other antibiotics. There is no such comparison happening. So D also gone. So the answer is A there. He's emphasizing the kind of effort required. Okay, let's go to the next question. Which choice best describes the relationship between passage 1 and passage 2? For this, of course, you have to read passage 1 and passage 2 and see what is going on. And as we discussed earlier, there can be partial agreement, full agreement, or no agreement at all. So these two people might be disagreeing with each other or agreeing partially. So basically what was happening here? So passage 1 and passage 2, as we discussed initially, there is a partial agreement. Passage 1 says that soil can be a great source, and it talks about that some antibacterial drug, and he says that, well, I've got my own limitations. Offers an evaluation. Evaluation means talking about each of the point in detail. So passage 2 offers an evaluation. This looks like quite a good contender. Passage 2 suggests a modification. So there is nothing like a modification it is suggesting. Uses concrete examples. Is he giving some concrete examples? No, the same example which was said in passage 1 is discussed in passage 2. So this is also not the case. Passage 2 takes dismissive stance. Dismissive means it is dismissing the research done. Means it is totally against. So it is not totally against. So this particular question is also gone. Answer is has to be A. All right, let's go to the next question now. Question number 50 says, both the passages make the point that this particular drug, so this is something which is a very interesting question because it asks you to synthesize information from two different sources and then tell the solution. So the question is, both the passages say something and we'll have to identify what is going on. Both the passages make the point that this particular drug could be useful in standardizing the future. No, there is nothing like the future development. It's talking about the present, combating infections that are no longer responding to treatment with other. Yeah, so this is what it is. This particular drug is effective. Both the guys are saying that it is effective. Controlling the spread of soil fungi, no. Shaping a new method of studying the effectiveness of antibiotics. Not studying the effectiveness of antibiotics. It's about the discovery or the source of antibiotics. So this is D is also factually wrong, although it looks like a trap or a probable answer. 51, information in passage 2. So we are specifically focused about passage 2. Best supports which conclusion about the mice. So if you go to the, so this is mice is a keyword there. If you read about the mice, you'll find that this toxobactin, whatever the name of that particular drug is effective against, so this T drug is effective against the positive strains of the bacteria. So it is able to control and treat the positive strains of the bacteria, but it is not able to not effective against the negative strain. Now, what is this positive strain and negative strain? This is something interesting. Sometimes we get stuck into understanding something which really does not matter. What you can do is you can actually ignore all these words which are of no use to you. What you can say is this is like P, this is like N, some positive strain, two different varieties. So this particular drug is able to fight against this sort of bacteria, but not against this sort of bacteria. That is all. So you have to be very focused about the question because they definitely give you extra information to confuse you, and you have to be very focused about what the question is saying. Supports which conclusion about the mice in the experiment? So this particular mice got treated. If it got treated, which means it was not negative strain, it was a positive strain, because this drug is effective only against the positive strain. When you get the passage, you get the answer there. Exposure to this made them less susceptible. So there is nothing like less susceptible to subsequent upper. No, not really. Gram positive bacteria enhance the effectiveness of this against their upper. No. How can bacteria enhance something? Gram positive bacteria enhance the effectiveness of this. So bacteria enhance the effectiveness really does not make sense. It is factually incorrect. Upper respiratory tract infections were likely not caused by, yeah, this is definitely the case, because according to the findings shared in this passage, this particular drug T whatever vaccine it is or a drug it is effective only against the positive bacteria. So it cannot be negative, which is factually correct. So C is the right answer there. T-bactin attracts. Now see, this is again important. If you're not able to pronounce a word and if it does not contribute anything to the passage, just see the first letter, T thing. T thing attacked the, so some T thing is there. T thing attacked the proteins of the bacteria that cause their upper respiratory tract infections. They are not talking about how this works. They do not endorse, but both the passages really do not endorse the same view. It's more about, so in this particular case of the mouse, since the mouse get cured, we can conclude that it was infected by a positive strain, not a negative strain. So you have to be very focused about the context, like in what context are we speaking about when we are looking at the question. The last question in this is about the line. Which choice provides the best evidence for the answer to the previous question? Since it is the last question, I would rather read the last line first, which is 80 to 82. So let me just see that. If I go to 80, see, in any case, we have to check all the options. So we can always pick and choose. Basically, what am I searching for? I'm searching for the fact that this particular drug was, so the respiratory tract was not affected by gram negative bacteria. So let me read 80 and 82 and whether it makes sense. Let's try to find it together. So 80 to 82 is somewhere here. So what are my caveats? Well, I see three. First, this T drug isn't a potential panacea. Panacea is a cure-all. This is a new word, which means a drug which can cure all the diseases. So they are saying that it is not a panacea. It doesn't kill the gram-negative opportunists, as it is too big to cross their complex. So basically, that negative thing is not treated. So this is what we are looking at. If this particular mouse has got treated, so it must not be treated by T. It must be, I mean, if the mouse disease was, we were able to overcome the mouse disease and mouse could be successfully treated, it is an indication that the bacteria that infected him was a positive strain. So this was a science passage and the last passage in the test, and I hope this was useful. Please, first, so the sequence that you should follow is read the passage, do the questions yourself, and then you can run the video to see how these questions are answered. And I hope these strategies would have been very helpful to you.